Greetings and welcome once again to my new calculus channel. My name is John Gabriel. So, let's continue in this exciting seventh episode of Rudin's unReal bullshit analysis. Okay, so in the previous video, I focused on the topic of topology. Now, what's interesting is that this incorrigibly stupid moron, Rudin, called that chapter basic topology. Now, there's a good reason for this, by the way, that it was called basic topology. Because if you take a look at the masters in topology, it's just more shit on top of the base object that's called topology. Hence, master of bullshit. Okay? So, very advanced topology is piled higher and deeper. PhD, for a very good reason, by the way. It allows undergrads to be called Doctor of Philosophy because no one in his right mind would even bother trying to understand the pile of scat written in a capstone essay called a dissertation by some wet behind the ears 18 to 30-year-old. Okay? In other words, some immature little dimwit whose head is so far up his advisor's rear ends that it doesn't really matter what he writes too much or she writes. All that matters is that he produces a convincing pile of crap. And of course, it must be based on the base object, which is, the basic topology. So, one of the things that stands out about topology is that it uses the concept of point and tries to make a connection to number. Okay, so and this is very important. So pay attention, sit up straight, stop picking your nose. Now, a point has no size, dimension, or extent. Okay, that's the definition of a point. There is a strong irony here where topology is concerned because it requires a one-to-one correspondence between point and number when the very concept is absurd. I mean, how do you forge such a correspondence when you cannot define the point or the number? Okay, so you can define some numbers and you can reify, R-E-I-F-Y, some points on the number line. It's just laughable, okay? Mainstream mathematics cranks' understanding of number relies almost entirely on the premise that the real line is possible, the real number line is possible, but nothing could be more deluded. Advanced topology is the multi-wrapper that makes basic topology unquestionable and basically untouchable and completely incomprehensible to any sane mind. It's like taking an elephant-sized dump and wrapping it in 1,000 layers of shiny paper. Guess what? After one sees it, no one can see or smell it, and nor does anyone care. It looks shiny and bright and lovely. So leave it at that, okay? Now, that was what we dealt with in the previous video, so I just wanted to add a fitting review. Now, the next chapter focuses on sequences and series. Now, no one in Rudin's time was intelligent enough to tell the idiot that series actually comes before sequences, okay? I mean, the word series really means row in Greek, and it's a row of numbers that are added together, okay? So, and moreover, that sequences are formed from the partial sums of series. And this distinction is lost on most moronic math PhDs. So if S is this series, 3/10 plus 300 plus 3,000, then a sequent formed is 0.3, 0.33, and 0.333, and so on. So the very word series also implies a sum. Okay, Rudin gets a lot wrong in this chapter, but the part that I find most amusing is his definition of series, which really is in contradiction to the mainstream ideas that Leonhard Euler's S equals to S is a well-formed definition. Rudin in definition 3.21 through to 3.25 makes it perfectly clear. Let's see what he makes perfectly clear. So he says, we're right there. He says, look, this is a definition here. Do you see that? Let me draw a little thing around it. This is the definition. Okay. It says the number S, this number, is called the sum of the series. See, there's the word sum there. But it should be clearly understood that S is the limit of the sequence of sums. So what's happening here is he's saying, and is not obtained simply by addition, by the way. So here he's saying S is defined as lim S, okay? That's what he's saying. But now Euler didn't have exactly the same idea as Rudin, because Euler thought that the series is the limit, but it's not. I mean, if you take, let me get a pen. If you take this series, you cannot add all the terms up, and if you do, there's a proof that none of them are going to equal to a third. Okay, can't equal to a third ever. So it's kind of stupid saying that this series S is equal to 1/3, which is the limit of the series. Okay, in other words, it's that value that can't be reached. So what sense does it make to say that? Well, it's very important because that has stuck throughout mathematics. And then, of course, there are certain reading material that I'll give you in a while so you can learn more about this. But Rudin expends considerable effort in outlining the definition of that ill-formed concept called the number E. It's not a number, and examining the limits that would become household names decades later. So chapter 4 deals with continuity, and I'll leave this topic for another video. Now, your homework are these 3 links here. You need to read these carefully and study them. I might add some more. I don't know yet, but that's pretty much it. If you're not already a subscriber to my channel, become a subscriber, okay? Follow me on academia. I've written hundreds of fantastic articles. I'm one of the top read authors, for a good reason, by the way. I'm a genius. And follow me also on YouTube, okay? This is my YouTube channel. Subscribe, click like, tell your friends about it. Tell your lecturers about it. Maybe you'll be able to re-educate them for the good of humanity. And that's pretty much it. I also have a members only channel for $4.99 a month. And don't forget, I have published some of the greatest books ever. And this latest book that I published here, which is called The Importance of Learning the Right Way, is probably going to blow your mind if you have a mind. So if I were you, I would purchase this book. Okay, that's pretty much it. I'm John Gabriel, and this is New Calculus Channel. Till next time, goodbye.